Now, one thing I wanted to ask you, you brought this up
Sure.
earlier. You said bands. Okay. We've spent a lot of time talking about Life of Agony, but
Mhm.
what other bands do you play with or do you do
Or have
music
been with.
for?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a band called Stereo Mud. We were signed to Columbia Records. That was Life of Agony had taken a break in 1998, right after 98 going into 99. Life of Agony had taken a break. My cousin Mina went on to do some other things. She went on to do her own solo project, and
Mhm.
like we, Alan and I had taken a break from doing Life of Agony. So I started, well, I with other people, I started a band called Stereo Mud and did that for a couple of records on Columbia. And that band was very successful, believe it or not. We toured with bands like Disturbed, Crazy Town.
Wow.
We did some big tours, Seven Dust, and that was a very fun, exciting band. We did a lot of stuff. We played with Stained, Godsmack. We did a lot of stuff.
Oh,
It was very, very cool band. It was very, how would you say, current sounding, modern at the time. you
yeah.
know
Yeah. Yeah.
it was a very,
Very
very,
2000s y.
yes, yes, very early 2000 sounding band.
Yeah.
Fit right in with your Seven Dust and the Godsmack type of sound. If you
Okay.
ever want to check that out. And then a very dear friend of mine who passed recently, Peter Steele from
Sorry to
Typo
hear.
Negative. I don't know if you
Um,
ever heard a band Typo
I
Negative.
know Typo Negative. I saw them back. Think it was probably one of my first shows up in this really gothic place. I think it was up in Scranton.
Oh yeah,
Pretty sure late 90s. Does that make sense?
Tinks, was it the club called Tinks or Scranton?
No. Wasn't Electric Factory. Electric Factory is Philly, right?
Yeah,
I'd have to look it up because I've only, except for Montage Mountain, where
right.
I would go to see bands like Aerosmith or
Yeah.
Poison or stuff like that. There was only one other time I've ever gone to Scranton, and it was for the Typo Negative concert
So
all the way back in the
so
day, like late 90s.
yeah, so Peter Steele asked me. He had put his old band from the '80s back together called Carnivore. I don't know if you ever heard of
Okay.
Carnivore.
No.
He was looking for guitars for that, and I had the honor and privilege, excuse me, to play with Peter in the reincarnation of Carnivore,
That's
which was.
okay. Actually, now that you've said that, it is kind of ringing a bell, like a
Mhm.
vague bell that I've heard of them, but I'm not familiar probably with the music.
Yeah, it's intense, very hardcore metal, early hardcore metal. Really, really energetic, pissed off sounding music. It's awesome. Carnivore was bad.
Ah,
Very
that's
controversial
good.
lyrics, but it was basically due to Peter creating an alternative world in his brain. So things in the content was very screwed up and kind of
Yeah.
controversial. So, but we took that to Europe, toured Europe with Peter with that, and so that was Life of Agony.
Controversy in music's good, though. I mean, if you think about it,
well,
controversy in music
well,
is good for
not
the
when you
most
have
part.
not when you have bomb threats at your shows because you're going to
I mean,
play.
come on,
So
look at Marilyn Manson. I mean, it only made him bigger in the
that's
90s, all the
true.
controversy.
Until the
Look at
bomb
people
goes off.
like yeah. Until a bomb goes off. Exactly.
You
That's
know,
where. But it can be scary.
yeah.
At least the alternative reality wasn't something like when Garth Brooks decided to do his alter ego and go rock. That was just horrible.
But I had the opportunity to play in other bands, and Life of Agony is obviously my baby. Founding member. We started that band. We were just 17, 18 years old. So I'm 50 now.
How does it feel?
I
Oh
just
wow!
revealed my age.